Alright, guess we're doing video essays now. When it was airing, Ian and I were watching the 2024 Netflix adaptation of Ranma 1/2. It only took the first episode and he was hooked, ready to watch more every week and see a new rendition of a manga classic, made by the one and only Takahashi herself. As for myself, I got into Ranma sometime around the early 2010s. I think I saw an advert in the back of another manga, probably something worse like Ayate no Gotoku. Ranma 1/2 didn't just provide nearly 40 volumes of fun and comedy, because believe it or not, I do think it left a long and lasting impression on me, not just as a reader and manga fan, but dare I say, it even helped me become a better person. I argue Ranma 1/2 not only inspired me a lot during my taekwondo arc that lasted until my last year of high school, it also taught me to be a man. Or a real man who doesn't solely rely on physical prowess, but also learns to be a tad more empathetic to other people. I'll show you how a classic martial arts romantic comedy did just that. This video will contain topics and characters relevant to Season 1 of the 2024 Netflix adaptation. Light spoilers ahead if you want to retreat and go into the show completely blind. Ranma 1/2 was made by Rumiko Takahashi from 1987 to 1996, spanning 38 volumes, and the original anime running from 1989 to 1992. The story involves the titular character of Ranma Sawatome and co-protagonist Akane Tendo as they survive constant duels against fellow martial artists who relentlessly challenge them to prove their might and break apart their romance so that they can be the one to date Ranma or Akane instead. Ironic as the main couple don't really like each other and were put into an arranged marriage by both of their martial artist fathers so that they can inherit the Tendo Dojo School of Anything Goes martial arts. Like, imagine being so bro with your best friend that you ship your future kids together. That's essentially what their dads did. To add further complications, Ranma was recently afflicted with a curse while on a training mission to China, where if he comes in contact with cold water, he transforms into a girl, while hot water reverses the effect and changes him back into his male body. Oh, and his dad does the same thing, but he turns into a panda. I forgot to add that to the main script. It doesn't really add anything, but I just thought I should mention it. A prideful young man trying to prove his machismo, afflicted with a gender-bending curse. Wait, hold up. Gender-bending curse, being engaged to a man-hating tomboy. This is the perfect recipe for a hilarious, beautifully seasoned manga classic. Easy recipient of the Indigo Choice Award and a personal recommendation. But I already know this is an excellent series for myself, and I'll spend the rest of the video going over how Ranma 1/2 taught me to be a real man and hopefully convince you to either check out the 2024 anime, the original anime, or maybe even the manga. Ranma 1/2 ended up teaching me two rather simple lessons throughout the manga subtext. Lessons that I don't know if Takahashi was deliberately trying to teach, but I extrapolated for myself. Nah, but who am I kidding? That genius Takahashi most likely intentionally planted these messages in her story. Oh, that brilliant artist that she is. Earlier when I said this was the anything goes style of martial arts, I really meant anything goes. In just Season 1 of the Netflix adaptation, we get one of Ranma's rivals. He uses martial arts as well as a super heavy umbrella and bandanas as his weapons. There exist rhythmic gymnastics martial arts figure skating, and another one of Ranma's rivals who was a Chinese Amazon warrior who followed him all the way back from China to Japan on a quest of vengeance. Trust me, there is so much hilarious martial arts bogus in the rest of the manga. Here you go, only one of them is fake. I dare you to guess which one. This taught me that not only was it possible for someone to acquire this many different skills and interests, it taught me that you can go outside of your familiar comfort zone and try new things out that you never even thought about possible. In the martial arts figure skating arc, Ranma wasn't even able to stand on the ice until he learned about martial arts figure skating, and he said he can figure anything out so long as it was tangentially related to martial arts. Kung Fu, when literally translated, can mean any skill learned through practice and hard work, though it doesn't just apply to martial arts, but in just about any aspect of life. Low-key, this may have subconsciously planted the seeds for me getting into band, woodworking, and later theater crew. All activities and interests I suddenly got into from middle school through high school, and the first two being huge aspects of my creative hobbies even to this day. Okay, nothing against theater tech, I just didn't have the time for it and a stable life in college, especially after I doubled down on my band skill points. Though another important life skill Ranma does learn outside of martial arts has to do with a part of his life outside of the ring, his treatment and views on women. This brings us to the other important lesson Ranma 1/2 taught me. Ranma Sawatomi doesn't have the best outlook on women at the start of the manga, at first seeing them as nothing more than just a nuisance or the weaker sex, mere damsels in distress that would only get in his way. Even after being forced into an arranged marriage with this uncute tomboy, who equally dislikes him as much, Ranma does go out of his way to defend her time and again from less than suitable men. Both due to his personal pride as a martial artist, and because the young couple do slowly care for each other as the story progresses, especially when they have difficulty admitting it. There is also the major detail that Ranma was inflicted with a curse that changes his sex when splashed with hot or cold water. With this, he is able to utilize and experience the best and worst parts about being a girl in order to be a bit more empathetic and understanding to the women in his life. There are positive aspects of being a girl, such as being lighter and more agile in combat, or being able to charm his way into getting things he wants, mainly in the form of food or favors from other people. No one can resist the Omega level Uwu. Though speaking of understanding women, there is one painful part of womanhood that Ranma does have to confront. I actually have a bachelor's degree in industrial technology, and one crucial lesson one of my professors taught our class was a simple but unfortunate fact of life. People often do not care about problems or try to find solutions to them until it becomes their problem too. I bring up personal lore and my degree because Ranma Sawatomi was like this. He didn't really understand or care to understand the plight of women until he could transform into one. Now that he too can be on the receiving end of sexism and unwanted advances, he understands some of the struggles of being a woman and can learn to treat them with decency and respect as the story progresses. Ranma 1/2 has a whole litany of absolute dastards and villains, like the rising kendo star Tatewake Kuno, who makes constant advances and proposals to both Akane and female form Ranma, never realizing that both Ranmas are the same person, that doofus of a giggle smurf. Or the foul and heinous Sanzenin from the figure skating arc, who preys on single girls and gives Ranma a non-consensual kiss when he was in girl mode. Hey people, that's not cool. Do not do that. Figure skater Sanzenin is the kind of person you should cover your drink with when he enters the room. You know this guy is just full of bad news because Ian was absolutely yuckadoodled when watching him prowl on girls, and rightfully so. Yeah, Ian was right when he said Sanzenin and that absolute brat Azazel should be happily miserable together. Point is, sexism is bad, and Ranma Sawatomi learns to be kinder to women after experiencing some of the pros and cons of being one part-time. While not the longest, or well-written, video essay on a beloved manga classic, I hope just watching this primer on Ranma 1/2 was at least enough to get you interested in either of its anime adaptations, the original manga, or all the many OVAs that I still need to watch. Not only is this a manga classic that I can highly vouch for, it managed to inspire my martial arts years during high school, inspire me to try out other activities that later became major hobbies in my personal life, and was arguably my first introduction to feminism. And if that or wokeness scares you, hey, you clicked on the video of a young man going ooh in the thumbnail, that's on you. If you'd like to see me talk more about other anime and manga, let me know in the comments. For new people watching, this is mainly a Pokemon and Fire Emblem channel, so here's more of that if you want to watch more. This was supposed to come out New Year's. What the hell is wrong with me? Why did this take me 3 months to do? Oh yeah, because I've been obsessing over Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I've been trying to finish that before Xenoblade X Definitive comes out, and god damn, my work schedule is a flumberdon't.